recording setup here, and I pray to God that it is better. So let's get right to it, and let's do that. Alright, so here we are. We have Street Fighter 5, Ibuki's out, we're doing our thing, and she's a new character. This is something that I didn't really like off the get-go with her, is, you know, we play Chun-Li, we play Cammy, we play Ryu, we play Balrog, we play these characters, we play Guile, we play Bison in Street Fighter 5, we play all these characters and they're different, but they still feel the same, they still have those same common goals. Chun-Li's still all about buttons, Cammy's all about the pressure, Ryu is all about fireballs and Shoryukens. Like, we still feel like they're like a complete character, we still feel good with them. The thing with Ibuki is they removed her right kick kicks, they removed the net breaker. Yes, she was different from Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 3, but we have to reinvent this character. So let's reinvent her, because here we go. We gotta start from somewhere and see what's going on with this character. So if we look at the character, we're just gonna go through the grounds. We're not gonna do any jump-ins. We're not gonna do anything and get all crazy with damage and max output. You guys want to figure out the jump-ins and stuff, what gives you the most damage, you can do that on your own time with that part. We're just gonna stick to the ground game and what the ground presents to us. So, and some good basic practical combos that you should be using and can be using. Alright, so one of the first things is we want to go over her combos. What can she do? What's new? What's different? Easiest thing is her overhead is like one of the new juices. The thing about this overhead, I want to get to it right away, is that it is very good range, but it's really not that good of range because you don't get anything off of it from the max range other than your whopping 70 damage, which at the end of a round, that's useful, that's good, that'll get you the win. But in the middle of the round, you want it to give you something, you want it to add on. So what can we do? Alright, so if we do the overhead, if I could just land the overhead, we get an overhead and we get a combo into standing jab or standing light kick. Oh my god. I'm so bad. I'm just terrible. I don't even think we can combo that, can we? Can we should do that? I don't know. But the point is, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna keep doing this right now. I'm recording. So you can get from that overhead. So you force them to block high, and then you get a combo. And then you can also get that from the low. So you can so right there, she has a high-low game. That's good. That's something good. We're starting to work with something. Thanks, Capcom. You gave us a high-low game. A lot of characters in this game really don't have that. Nash doesn't really have that. Ryu doesn't really have that. Chun-Li has that. Being top tier, one of the best characters. So that's a good thing, too. But she has to have V-trigger to really get anything off of the overhead. Or it has to be, I think, counter hit. But anyway, so they give that to us, and that's a great thing. Now, one of the things with her buttons is, outside of her standing light kick, they're pretty lacking. Instead of her best buttons are forward heavy kick, because if that becomes a crush counter, if you look at Sako doing a lot, you can get a crouching roundhouse. I'm not timing it, but you can. I swear. I swear to God you can. There it is. Okay, so I did it. So you can get a knockdown, and you can also get a raise. And it's really good in footsies because it goes over things. So if someone's hitting a button and doing something, you can use that to go over stuff. And you can also put that in combination with, combine them with the target combo to do that too. So the crouching medium punch, forward heavy target combo. Yeah, okay, it's only 135, but damage is damage, right? So, but it's still a good poke. Now what you want to be doing, I find, is you want to hit confirm from this medium punch, right? Because you're going to be fishing with it max range. Let me get it off the counter here. You're going to be fishing on it max range. You're not going to walk up to somebody and be like, oh, crouching medium punch, I can do it now. Because they're going to be hitting jab. They're going to be hitting their light kick. They're going to be hitting their other buttons. So you're not really going to be getting that off. So, to me, what I like to use crouching medium punch for is I go to EX Kunai. The reason why I do EX Kunai is I get a free rate depending on which one I choose to do at that time. Now, when you use Raida in general, Raida, whatever you want to call it, half circle back punch, each one does different spacing. Now, so far, what I like is low lets me keep pressuring. I can do a jump and then do whatever, right? Or I do a heavy and I get that space and I use that time to restock my kunais. Because you're not gonna have time to pressure after you get that big damage. I'm like, oh, okay, let me just like walk up to you and You're not. Even if you do the heavy command dash, and you go up, guess what? That's not a mix-up. They're gonna see that. Everybody's gonna block that. Your sweep, whatever you're gonna do, correct medium punch, after that, you're gonna block it. So you better use that time to get your kunais stocked up. So that, in my opinion, is the best time to get your kunai stock up. Absolutely. Is you want to land a hit. If you land it, go for that too. And you can also use that in crush counter situations. So let's say somebody does something really stupid, and you're like, oh my god. Then you use it there, and you go, oh, thanks buddy. Kunai stock up. And that's stupid. I hate that about her game design, is that like, oh, you're gonna run out of kunais. I hate that, but whatever. That's what they gave her. We gotta deal with it, and just whatever. We gotta deal with it. Sometimes, alright, so let's get back to the ground game here. Getting off track. So, one of the things that kind of irks me is that her standing heavy punch, it doesn't really do enough. And I'll show you what I mean by that. And it should be doing more. Make sure we're not counter hit. Okay, we're not. Okay, so right now, if I do this, if I do standing medium punch, because standing medium punch combos into standing light kick, which is really important. If I do that, right, that's 183, 323. Wait, let's think about that again. So I did medium punch to light punch, and I get 183 damage, 323 stun, right? Just boom. Now, keep in mind the scaling too. I have one heavy punch and one Rada, and I get only 5 more damage and 7 more stun. Like, that just doesn't seem correct to me. That doesn't add up. In most games, you use one heavy move followed by a heavy punish, and then you do a medium and then a light. For the thing, you're gonna get less damage on the medium and the light confirmation into your special move. So right off the bat, my heavy punch, the only thing that I like about her heavy punch is using it to move forward if I'm out of range of something. So for example, if I'm using a V-trigger combo, when I use her heavy punch and I'm out of range, I think for the next thing I can go in and do that and have range because it moves her forward. I like that. With this combo, it does not move her forward. So I kind of don't really, that's the only time I find that the standing heavy punch is really useful. The next thing I wanted to look at was the low punch, beam punch, high punch target combo. This, at first glance, I was like, wow, that's really great. They brought her target combo back, the one that everyone used in Street Fighter 4. So I was like, oh, that's amazing. That's fantastic, cool. I can use that in my combos and do what I need to do. So let's go over the heavy Rada damage with it. So we're going to use that now, compare that. So, 1, 2, 3, heavy. 190, 311 is my damage output. 183, 323 from the medium punch to light. Once again, two combo starters are very weak, right? So, alright, so let's look at that what we have again. 1, 2, let me make sure I keep everything consistent here. We're doing our test here. Okay, so 190, 311. Low punch, medium punch, high punch. 190, 311. Okay, then we go 1, 2. 183, 323. I'd rather have a little bit extra stun and pushback, or whatever, a little bit extra stun than like 8 more damage. I'd rather have a little, I mean, if you're looking at the numbers game, it makes more sense to do medium punch to light kick for pretty much everything that you do, unless you're using the crouching high punch. Crouching high punch is good for using in your punishes in your ground game because it does the most damage. So this does 80 and 150, correct? But if I do that, it does 90 to 150. So an example simple combo would be like this. If I had my V-trigger. I'm so bad. Right? So we have 311, 470 was that combo. Let's do that again. Run it again. I'm just keeping everything very simple. 311, 470. Right? Now let's do it with the standing heavy. Or let's do standing heavy, right? Let's just do standing heavy. Right? I get more damage. So, it's not more damage, it's not that much more damage, but it's still more damage. So right now, I kind of have already gauged out, or X'd out 2 combo extensions, or 2 combo starters from my ground game. So I have low punch, medium punch, high punch target combo. Let's see what that does. 257. Wow, okay, there's absolutely no point to using that in a combo. The only thing that becomes the problem with using the standing medium punch to the light kick is that you can't use it that much in V-trigger. So in V-trigger, I find that I have to be looking for stuff like, let's see. So basically, mostly the heavies. Because if I use mediums, or the medium, crouching medium is actually very good. I forgot about that. Crouching medium and heavies are pretty much what I'm using to go into my V trigger. Because the low punch, medium punch, high punch target combo scales pretty terribly. The only time that the low punch, medium punch, high punch target combo is good is when I confirm from a jab, because you can actually do this. You could do jab and then the target combo, such as that. So you get a little bit more damage out of it. So that did, let's keep our variables the same here. So we did 190, 311. Then we did 196, 342. So the target combo is actually only useful when you add an additional jab to it, because that gives you more damage. So that it was 196, 342. Not bad. And then that is 183, 323. But the problem is that you might not always be close enough for that target combo to hit. You have to be dead close to them. But if you're going to be dead close to them and you know you're going to have the time to do it, so let's say Ryu or Ken does a Shoryuken and does something, you're going to want to go for something a little different. Such as so. Do something like that. I'm not timing anything, I'm not really worried about it, I'm just showing practicalness of everything that she has. So you want to go for the crush counter, and then you want to go for and do what you got to do. The problem with the crush counter, and the thing that is apparent for most characters in the game, is after you do a crush counter, you always want to walk forward a little bit. That's always the formula, it seems, with this game. So you can get the best damage. It's apparent with Nakali and Balrog, at least, after their crush counters. I know that. But to be safe, we can do... Let me see. And then we do our combo or whatever we need to do. So, the practicalness of really using that isn't really that high, because you're going to be further away. You're not always going to be at that damage. With this, with the standing medium punch to the light kick, which is definitely the most useful overall bread and butter combo for her to be using on her ground game, is that, you know, without meter, without kunais, all that kind of fun stuff, is because it's the most practical for the ranges. So you can be here, you can be there, you don't have to worry so much about the range, and the damage is good. It's the best you're going to be really getting, because, like I said before, when you do the heavy into it, 204, 360, and then you do this, I can't even play this game. I'm so bad. I'm terrible, I swear, I'm terrible at this game. There we go, oh my god. So 195, 343. So you still, the damage is extremely similar, but it's more applicable to your matches. Okay, so next thing that I want to get into is what else to do with the medium punch. So we've waited out that the medium punch is really good. So let's now look at what else we can do with the medium punch. The medium punch is extremely important to learn how to react to hitting. If it's on hit, if it's on block, or if it's on counter hit. If it's on block, you want to keep pressing it again, and you want to fish for a counter hit with it and hope they hit a button. I'm pretty sure it is plus on block, because let's take a look at that application and what we can do from it on counter hit. So if I counter hit my standing medium punch, I can go into another medium punch. So now it's like, oh great, now you don't have to use that standing light kick, and I get more damage, and yada yada yada. And we all know that means more damage than standing heavy punch, right? So standing heavy punch, counter hit, oh okay, well guess what, we still get like 16 or 18 more damage. Yay, so that's good. So one of the things that you could also do when you do get a counter hit on the standing medium punch is you can combo into standing medium kick. Now when you go into standing medium kick, you can actually transition to your target combo. And then from your target combo, you can go into shenanigans. So when you get the counter hit on your standing medium punch, you have quite a few options. I wish you could do that. That would be wonderful. But you can either go for another standing medium kick. If you're not confident in your confirm, you can go to the light kick, so it gives you more time. If you are confident in your confirm, you can go for the medium. Or you can go into the target combo. And then you can start doing some stuff like that. Basic, simple stuff without kunais, without the shenanigans, without the stuff. So that's basically Ibuki without meter, without her with any tools that she really has. Now, let's step into the kunai game a little bit. So we know that she has this overhead game, we covered that. She has that overhead, okay. And combo into Rada, and we know that she has a low, right? And then we know that she has sustaining medium punch pressure. She can do stuff like that if you see the counter hit, or you go to the counter hit and you want to get shenanigan-y. You can do your command dash stuff and tricks like that. So that's also really good too. So now let's get into the kunai. Now the thing with me and the kunai is the fact that we have to reload them is fucking stupid. Like, it's just pretty dumb because I don't know. I don't like the fact that I have to keep track of something else that no other character has to keep track of. I think that's gimmicky. I think it's stupid. It's just, make them weaker than Capcom if they're so worried about it. Don't make us keep track of something else and make her distinctive in that regard. It's like Frank West or Phoenix Wright in Ultimate Marvel. Like, I have to keep track of things. I don't like that. Anyway, so things that we can do with the kunai. The light one and the medium are kind of useless on the ground. If you're going to be using it on the ground, the heavy is the way to go because it's going to hit at all angles. So I really don't even use the light or medium toss ever. The medium throw here is pretty stupid. I don't use that much either. The only ones that she throws them all on the ground that I like are the ones that the light, if I think they're going to be on the ground, or I go heavy if I think that they're going to be in the air, or if I'm doing a particular combo that I like to do, which is such as so. And then if I want to be crazy, I can go to super, or reset, or go into Rada right there. So I like to use that combo in the corner because they're in the air for the juggle, and that goes up for that. So I like to use that. I do not like to use any of the ones from the ground because you're gambling on the fact, and you're not really comboing into anything unless you have a bomb out, that's going to hit. So I really don't like the concept of that. I don't mind throwing a kunai or one or two out like that because I'm only wasting one of them. I'm like, alright, well, I'll take it. It's really not that much of a risk. I got 6 of them right now, or I have 4. I can manage to let that one go. But when I'm like, oh, let me just like do that, I don't know. Occasionally I'll throw an EX kunai in there because I like that because it can pop me up and give me a Rada or allow me to start juggling. So something I could do could be this, and then do shenanigans and whatever. So I like that sometimes. So anytime I do an EX kunai, sometimes I'll do a reset or I'll go into Rada or a heavy one and restock if I need to restock them, like so. So that's a good way to kind of manage your kunais and make sure that you're keeping track of them. If you have more kunais or you're good on your kunais, try to incorporate the release into your combos. So like, and the easiest way to start getting used to that is to try, even if it's a stupid combo to start, or that's like doing a simple Rada or maybe an EX Rada after. Just try to think of ways to put them into a combo, and eventually you'll build and you'll get how to incorporate them a little better. Now the key with Ibuki, and the thing that I hate about her, is that she doesn't really have the damage until she has the V trigger. And she has the damage, she has the reset, she has all the tools. Yes, of course she does, and I think she does. But the problem is, and this is my beef with this character, is that she needs them. So if I have no kunais, let's say I have no kunais, and I don't have super, on offense, it's really difficult for me to incorporate tools, to incorporate damage, because I can't use an EX Kaze Gary. I don't want to be like, well, I hit you, EX Kaze Gary, whoop, I can't even EX kunai after, even if I chose to do that. Or I don't want to be like, well, I'm on this regular kunai. Oh, well, I can't, because now I don't have that, so, okay. And when she doesn't have kunais or EX meter, she's basically playing the simple ground game until she gets V-trigger. The problem with her V-trigger, and it's mostly with her V-trigger and kunai mix, is that if you don't have kunais, but you have V-trigger, your combos change for your V-trigger and scale less, or they allow you to have less extension. So an example would be, like I have to do a medium kick now, a medium punch, as opposed to a heavy that I would do before, and lose meter build. Keep in mind that kunais, when you throw a kunai, that builds meter. Obviously, it's not too much, but it's still something. So when you do that, you lose things. Now, the bombs, initially I thought would be very good for tricks and shenanigans. It's like, oh, that'll be very shenanigan-y, and that'll be really cool. And there's already been tech of Sako doing stuff like this, and be like, whoa, guess the bomb. But at the same time, it's very easy, it's very efficient now because people aren't used to seeing that. So when they begin to start seeing that and understanding that those mix-ups, it's going to be like Super Street Fighter 4, when we would do basic buttons and then go through people, and everyone was like, oh my god, I had no idea that was coming. It's just a gimmick, and it's just like a fancy trick that we're not used to seeing yet. So once people get better at seeing that, they're going to be like, oh wow, like, that's really easy to tell, like, once you've learned and trained yourself to see that. Or it's like when we would get hit by Virgil's aerial slash thing in the air, or his rapid slash that would cross up and go on the other side of you. Like, it was scary at first, but once we learned how to kind of block that, it really just, like, it fades out. And that's how a lot of her tech is it's very phasey. It's very like, oh, okay, you just did that, so alright, I'll just train myself to see that better next time. And that's kind of how I see her offense. Her defense is, her offense and damage output is extremely lacking, and her positioning, her ability to keep up pressure is pretty weak. So it's like after she does something, you kind of know where she's going to go, or once you train your eyes to see that, it's very difficult to deal with her. It's very weird too when you go in to use her super. For example, I just did standing heavy punch to like kunai to super, so that's 2 buttons into super, right? So that's 404. I messed it up. Let's see what this damage does. It's like 427. So I get more damage by doing less hits, even though before the super I've only used a button twice. This is similar to her Ultra Street Fighter 4 problem, where the more buttons she hit and the more things that she did, the more it would scale. I want to see what this damage is. I'm kind of curious. So I did the target combo into it, and that does 365. My favorite thing to do is to go heavy punch, heavy, Kaze Giri, and then you get it. And that does, I think it's like high 400. Yeah, so it's like 461, even though that's really not that fantastic. One of the combos that I like to use with her to go into super is that when you're mid-screen, it's stupid. You have to use steady medium punch to really go into the Rada effectively. Yeah, it's 523. That's really where it's worth it. So there's that. I like that because it's meter efficient. I'm not using all my kunais. I have my V trigger, and I can still throw out a bomb or do something as I get up too, and keep that pressure and do whatever that I need to do. So in quick recap, so let's go over some things. So she has the overhead. The overhead lets you go into the standing jab, and then you can go into the Rada. I think it's off. It does work off counter hit. I know it's on counter hit right now. We cover the crouching jab right there. The standing medium punch on counter hit is one of her best tools for counter hit, similar to Street Fighter 4, because she can go into that, begin shenanigans with the standing medium kick. I think if you're feeling gutsy, you can do stuff like that, do whatever. You can cancel the V trigger from the standing medium kick, but I think you have to go into crouching medium punch. Yep, you don't have time to do that. Or is he crouching? I don't think so. No. Because you can't kunai, you can't special cancel the standing medium kick. So that allows you to have shenanigans. If you just get the hit, you can go to standing light kick. Standing light kick is very important because I did it. You can combo after the overhead, so that gives you more range, a little bit more range, because over there. The thing about the overhead though, like I said before, is that it will lose 2 buttons. So if someone's hitting buttons, you have to be very careful with your use of the overhead, because Balrog's using crouching medium punch or something. It doesn't really matter. Ken's just hitting jab, or DP's coming, or Mika's hitting standing jab. It doesn't matter. The fact that it's very slow. It's very slow. If it was a little faster, it would be awesome. It's not terrible, but still. So that's her high-low game. The counter hit with the standing medium punch. When you do the V-trigger combos, you want to try to use crouching high punch as much as you can. crush counter with standing heavy kick. If you do see standing forward heavy kick in your footsies, you want to try to go into sweep the best you can. If you, well, I did not cover this, but it is a good thing to notice. If you do get crush counter sweep, you can try your vortex, and then from your vortex you go into your same aim punch. Or if you have the meter, then you can start using your, what do you call it, your standing meme punch. I love the standing meme punch. It's like very, 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 very underrated right now. I wish you could combo from that. That'd be absolutely fantastic. From your super, if you're doing it on the ground, you want to go from crouching high punch to Kazigiri, because the standing heavy punch, let's go over it again, guys, is useless, pretty much, unless you need to move forward, and you want that extra space. So, and just remember this too, when you're doing a combo mid-screen, and you start with a heavy, you want to go to standing medium punch, or another way to do it, actually I forgot, is this one. Make sure you go to medium rate. The medium rate actually works, I forgot that. Not the heavy one. Oh, I stink. There it is. So that will work too, that does more damage. I think that's like 523, something like that. Yep, 498, whatever. Point is that those are practical combos that you can do. Of course you can do stuff like this. And be like, oh my god, I did so much damage. Or whatever. There are combos and things that you can do, but the thing is you're going to be spending a whole lot of resources to get those things. Incredibly situational. Obviously learn those combos, because those are going to be useful. I still have to explore. I can't watch videos, well I can. I like to do the combos and feel them myself, as opposed to sit and watch YouTube videos and be like, oh, I remember that combo, because I'm not going to remember all the combos, and I'm not going to sit and study them. I need to do them myself and study them before I get the hang of it. So that's my look at Ibuki, guys. I hope you appreciated it, and thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment on Ibuki. Personally, don't think that she's a fantastic character, but I don't think she's booty tier. I would place her like 13th-ish, maybe 14th-ish, probably one of the bottom or characters. The reason why I say that is because she does have an invincible, I did want to cover this too, she does have an invincible reversal, which is fantastic, but it costs a meter, and her meter is incredibly important on offense, in my honest opinion, because that's what gets her momentum started, is using EX Kunai on the ground to hit confirm. And because EX Kunai from Crushing Medium Punch is really good. It really gets her started and can allow her to do the things that she wants to do. The Kunai, too, it's a gimmick that no other character has to really worry about. So I think that kind of hurts her, that you have to manage her resources better, and you really have to be on top of how she is and how she spaces and all this stuff. When you play other characters, you don't have to worry about that. It's like I said before, it's similar to playing Frank West or Phoenix Wright in Ultimate Marvel, where you're constantly trying to keep track of something, and the other characters don't need to do that. They just play. All the time they can do other combos from the crush counter. They don't have to worry about if they have kunais or not, or this spacing. Ken can run in and do stuff. Reuse damage is great for derp damage and easy execution. Ibuki has to work for her damage, and I believe that is a problem. And against high-level play, you're not going to have as many opportunities to get damage. And that's always been a big concern in fighting games lately. Evil Ryu, Fei Long and Street Fighter 4, all this stuff, Dudley, all these characters damage, and she has it, but it costs her a lot to do so. So that's everything. Totally. Now I'm done. Hope you liked the video. If you have any comments on Ibuki, any ideas and stuff like that. Oh, another thing, I didn't throw this in there. Crouching medium kick and the footsies is really fun. I like to use it. Oh, you can even do it. Ooh, that's a useful thing. To use that in your footsies and go into crouching medium punch. That's wonderful. I'm gonna just start using that a little bit more, because crouching medium kick is so underrated. It's really, really, really good. Oh, and it even resets too. Look at that. Can we cancel? No, that sucks. Okay. But anyway, that's what I got, guys. I'm still exploring, still looking into her, but these are some basic core concepts that I got with her. Hope you like.